I'm starting with the L'Oreal Nude Palette, and the shade is number 3. This is a light brown. I'm putting it into the corners, through my crease, and up into the front of my brow. Then I'm using the 24-Hour Color Tattoo by Maybelline, and the color is Tough as Taupe. That's in the outer corner of my eye and a little bit into the crease. This is going to act as my base for my gray shadow that I'll be using. And then just blend that out. So this is a matte gray shadow by Tom Ford. And I'm just swirling that into the outer corner, dragging it outward, and then bringing it through the crease and up into the front of my brow. I'm really working that in the front of my brow. And then out towards my temples. And this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills World Traveler Kit. The shade is Noir. And I'm just using a small blending brush and putting that into the outer corner, creating a V shape and extending that outward and bringing it halfway through my crease. And then just blending, blending, blending. And I'll repeat this process a few times. And this is the color Morocco from the same palette that I love this shade. And I put it up into the front of my brow, halfway across my crease, and here I'm just blending it out. I'm also taking it slightly down the sides of my nose, and you will see why in just a bit. So here is a reddish brown by Inglot. I don't know the name, but I put it on the lid and in the inner corners and blending it up again towards my brow. And using a concealer brush here, I'm just packing more of that noir shade into the corner. When you're doing a smoky eye, it's much easier to add than to take away. So you just keep building and blending, building and blending. And I'm doing a wing here, and this is with the Maybelline gel eyeliner. I'm going to smoke this line out, so I'm not really concerned with making it perfect. And then I just drag it all the way out. And here I'm going into the inner corners, all the way down to my tear duct. And blending that out with that small blending brush. And then with that matte gray shadow, I'm just blending the corners out and taking that all the way up into my temple. So to highlight and conceal, I'm using the NARS Creamy Concealer under my eyes in a V shape, Cupid's bow, chin, down the bridge of my nose, and forehead. I'm using a lot of product because it's Halloween and I want to be pale like a vampire. So I'm using a damp beauty blender to press that into the skin. And once this starts to get blended out, you'll see why I was putting the shadow down the sides of my nose. I want my bone structure to really stand out because I'm a vampire. And then I'll set under my eyes with the Ben Nye powder in Cameo just by dipping that beauty blender into the powder and pressing that under my eye. That's going to help with concealer, creasing and all of that. So I really want to drive home this pale idea and set with a heavy amount of powder on my bridge of my nose and my forehead and letting that bake. So here I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette in the hollows of my cheeks with a lot of product on my brush. It's Halloween. So blending that out, I'm going to go around my forehead and my temples. And I also went around my jawline, but I don't have that on the film. So I'm just brushing away that excess powder after it's sat for a few minutes. So with a fluffy blending brush, it's an eyeshadow brush, but I'm using that to contour my nose with the same shade Fawn, and I'm leaving the darkest points at the top of my nose. So to really give that sunken vampire look, I'm using the same matte gray shadow I used on my eyes with the smaller brush that I used for my nose. And I'm putting that in the hollows of my cheeks and blending upward. And I'll go around all the same spots that I contoured with the contour kit. And just keep blending. All around the sides. So once I did my forehead and my temples, for some reason it gave a look that looked dirty, so I just took the product that was left on the other big fluffy brush and blended that out. Now I'm really concentrating that in that same area on the top of my nose and just blending down with my fingers. So here with the same gel eyeliner, I'm just going under my eye with a sloppy line. I'm going to smoke everything out. But I go a little more than halfway across and I stop. And then with a clean brush, I just smudge it all out. So with a teeny tiny brush, I'm just taking that gel eyeliner and pointing downward, leaving open space and blending that line out. Here I'm filling in my waterline, and then I just extended the tear duct. So with that matte gray shadow on a small blending brush, I'm just smoking out the bottom lash line and dragging that all the way up to the top of the end of my brow there. So with a red lip liner, I decided to fill in that empty space. And I drug it downward into like a point. And then I brought it up a little bit into the inner corner of my eye so that there wasn't a sharp line. I then took the shadow that was on my lid, packed that on, and blended it out. Using an NYX lip liner, and this one's a deep purple, I lined my lips, and I really wanted to give that deep, blood-soaked vampire type lip, so I tried to do an ombre effect. I lined first with this deep purple, and then I filled in from the outer corners all the way almost to the center of my lips, leaving the center without any lip liner. Then I took a black eyeliner by NYX and just filled in the outer corners very softly, not quite bringing it in as much as I did with that deep purple. And then just bringing the liner all the way into the center, but just very gently lining the outside. I blended with a Q-tip, and that worked really well because I wanted a soft blend between the two colors. So this is Vengeful Red by Estee Lauder, and this is the finished product. Thank you so much for watching.